Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin, an all-time guitar classic. Great fun to play, kind of a 12-bar blues, then an extended 12-bar blues form. So let's get to a close-up and check out how to play it. Man, this is a great riff. Okay, it's kind of based on a 12-bar blues pattern. Any of you that have done my beginner's course will have learned this kind of thing. And learned that there's some little variations you can pull out as well. So this is a great example of taking those variations and creating an incredibly awesome riff. So we're starting off with an A chord with an up strum. Now this is important to grasp that the riff actually starts on the and after one. I'll just play it through real nice and slow with a count for you so you can understand what I mean. It should hopefully make the rest of it make a bit more sense. So we've got this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Okay, hopefully you can notice there the strumming hand moves very consistently down on the beat and up in between. I've watched a few videos of Jimmy Page playing it, and it does seem that's the most common way he's doing it, although there are little clips where it looks like he's doing it different. So we can't be certain, but that would be my best guess, okay, and probably a good way to start off. So we start off on the up strum of this A chord, and we're just starting from the 3rd string and strumming the strings 3, 4 and 5, okay? We're not playing the thicker string. If you can reach around with your thumb there to mute the thicker string, that's a good way of doing it, or just be super controlling with your pick as to which strings you're actually going to pluck. Okay, so we've got this, and 2, it's the very first part, is playing the chord, then 2nd finger is going down the 3rd fret of the 5th string, doing a little curl, okay? That'll be a down pick, so up, down, and then up on the chord again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? Little finger going down on the 5th fret of the 4th string, then lifting that off to reveal the 1st finger, which is still holding that A chord. Then 3rd finger goes down on the 4th fret, then 2nd finger back in the 3rd fret of the 5th string with the curl, and then to the open chord, okay? Really important though that you get the rhythm right. I'm showing you individual notes here, but you'll find that Jimmy's playing that note and the open A string sometimes as well, of varying hardnesses as to whether you hear that note ringing out there. But it's a bit easier to learn it if you just think of them as individual notes and then try and relax your picking a bit later. So that pattern again, so 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Okay, so just at the end there on 3 and 4 and we just got the A for down and up, then 3rd finger going down in the 4th fret of the 4th string, and then off again. Okay, again nice and slowly. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and really good idea to practice that nice and slow and make sure that you're feeling the hand moving continuously all the time and the missing of a chord on beat 1. So 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, so it's important to realize that when we move over onto the D, we're just going to be playing the middle 2 strings, okay? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and... Sometimes I tend to put the second finger down there to get a little bit more of the D chord, but then it does make playing some of the riff awkward. So occasionally I'll be using either third finger or second finger there, but most of the time I'm just playing. Now we're over onto the E, exactly the same thing. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and... Okay, so really important that you've got that little gap there on beat 1 to change chords as well, okay? So let's just play that riff now all of the way through nice and slow. So 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and... Okay, now there is a very cool trick here that on the original recording there's an overdubbed guitar, okay, of Jimmy using these cool little dyads, 2-note chords. If we put the first finger down in the 11th fret of the 4th string and the third finger down in the 12th fret of the 3rd string, okay, this actually forms an A7. Okay, and if you hear that very clearly on the record, these chords ringing. Okay, now if we move those 2 notes down 1 fret, we get a D7 chord. Okay, it's actually kind of the middle part of this, that E7 shape. Okay, and this is part of A7 that way. Okay, move it up, we get an E7. Okay, so really clever thing that Jimmy does on the original recording is just, okay, he's just using those 2 notes. Yeah, but live he does this really cool thing of playing that in between the riff. Okay, so this is just happening on 3 and 4 and. So the first thing to learn is how to mix that into your main riff. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Okay, it does seem like Jimmy's using first and third fingers. I'm trying to use those ones, but sometimes I end up using fingers 1 and 2. I don't think it really matters, but fingers 1 and 3 is probably a better choice for those 2 notes. So again, how to mix that into the other chord progressions, just remember this is coming on the 3 and 4 and. Okay, and the main riff starts on the and after 1. I know this is a lot of counting, right? You can just listen to the original recording, but understanding the count will usually help, come to terms with this kind of rhythmic pattern as well. So again, really slowly, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Okay, now you can see we've gone from the A, and on that last upstroke we've now moved it back to the D. Okay, we don't need the bass note there with the thumb, I'm just playing it so you can hear the chord. And then we're on the D. Then D, A, E, E, A. Okay, so let's put that all together nice and slow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, so that's how you can play the verses and incorporate that line in. If you're in a 2-guitar band, you're better off keeping that as a separate part and just going just down, up, sustain with a little bit of vibrato. It sounds really cool as a 2-guitar part, but live Jimmy normally seems to incorporate that part into the main riff. Okay, so what's going on in the verses now? Okay, it's just a regular A chord, but we're using a second finger on the 3rd fret of the thicker string and bending it kind of, not quite up to the A, but okay, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Okay, so just at the end there. Okay, the bend, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Again, I think it's a good idea to keep that hand consistent. You know, do a little bit of research yourself and you will see little bits of Jimmy's hand moving consistently there. Whether he did it that way on the record, nobody knows, but that certainly seems to be the way he's doing it live. So again, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Okay, so we're just on the and after 4, we're playing the low open E string. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and down, up, down, down, up. Okay, so in context again, all of that A stuff. So 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and again 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Okay, now we move over onto the D. We're using second finger in the 3rd fret of the 5th string, with a little bend, and then first finger in the 2nd fret, 3rd string, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, which is the top part of a D chord. We don't want that thinner string, just mute that one out. So 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. So Jimmy Page is a genius guitar player. Just the way that fits together is so nice, having the little bend there. So tasty. So it's essentially that pattern all of the way through, okay? When it gets to the E chord, he slides up and he's using a little rock and roll pattern here. Okay, so this is first finger 7th fret of the 5th string, 3rd finger 9th fret of the 4th string, and little finger is going to go down on beat 2 and 4 into the 11th fret of the 4th string. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and D. Okay, very basic kind of rock and roll pattern. Again, sticking with the alternate strumming. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and, okay, and it does that riff there twice at the end of the verse. So let's go right the way through the verse now, nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2. So it's worth noting that this song is based on a 12-bar blues form. The first part where the riff is going is kind of a simplified 12-bar blues, which is just A, 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 D, D, A, A, E, E, A, A. So none of that kind of turnaround stuff there in the last 4 bars, just keeping it real simple. And the verse section is a 24-bar blues. So it's essentially a 12-bar blues where each of the chords has been doubled. So you end up with like 8 bars of A, 4 bars of D, 4 bars of A, and then 2 of E, 2 of D, and 4 bars of A again. Okay, I'll stick those chord sequences up on the website there for you as well. But really, the deal with this one is trying to get the rhythm right. Okay, note as well the very intro. Everybody has a little bit of fun there coming in after that drum section. It's one of those things, to be honest, I never thought about counting it. It was just, you know, you listen to it a bunch of times and then you come in, you know, if your drummer's playing it, you get a feeling after you've listened to it a bunch of times with how it works. But otherwise, this is just a fantastic song to play. If you're in a band, definitely, if you're in a 2-guitar band, you want to segregate that little high up chord there so that that's played by a second guitar part. And if you've just got one guitarist in the band or you fancy a bit more of a challenge, really good fun to work out getting that in there as well. I definitely learned it wrong and have been playing it wrong for about 25 years until this morning when I really started trying to dissect how it was played. You know, it's really great fun song to play, really, really good, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it as well. Definitely play along with the original recordings, the way to go for this one. I really hope you dig on this lesson. Remember, there'll be some additional notes and links to related lessons over on the website. You can ask questions there as well, and I do answer frequently asked questions as part of the lessons as well in the dialogue part of that. And yeah, hope you subscribe to my channel if you dig what I do. See you over on the website very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.